Valentine's Day isn't about love. It is a diagnostic test. It is measuring. It's like a test for attention, test for effort, and a test for whether someone notices the little things. And most people fail without even realizing it. Saying the quiet part out loud, most people see Valentine's Day as like chocolates, flowers, or a fancy dinner, but that is the surface. The real story is what it reveals about patterns in relationships. Today, I want to break down what effort really looks like and why so many people misunderstand it, and how noticing effort, or the lack of it, can completely change the way that you approach dating and partnership. So here's what I've noticed. Valentine's Day highlights who actually notices, right? The person who remembers the little things, the person who plans ahead or does something thoughtful without being prompted. There's the ones who pass the test. The person who does the bare minimum or forgets entirely, it's not that they don't love you, it's that they either don't notice or effort isn't part of how they show up. And that difference is huge. Like, most people treat romance like magic. It should happen naturally, or like love will fix everything. Can you tell I'm not one of those people? Bruh. But romance isn't magical. It's intentional. It's about observing, it's about anticipating, and acting thoughtfully, even when no one's watching. Valentine's Day just makes that effort visible in one concentrated day. Social media doesn't help. You scroll past like couple goals, fancy dinners, and gifts, and you feel like you're failing, but those highlight reels rarely reflect reality. Most relationships thrive on consistent attention, consistent communication, and consistent small gestures. Things that don't really get likes or shares. So what does that mean? Like, what are we gonna do about this? Pay attention to effort, not just the grand gestures. Notice patterns in behavior, not just one-time events. Like, if it happens once, okay. But if you're starting to notice it happening again and again and again, especially if you've already had a conversation about it, pay attention. Appreciate people who show up consistently, and be aware of when effort is missing. That insight will change how you approach relationships far more than any candy or bouquet. And I would like to add a caveat that disabled people, people with like a lot of health conditions, or even just autistic people, don't necessarily fall in that line unless you have communicated to them clearly what it is that you need, and they're still not showing up, right? A lot of people with autism cannot show up because they don't know that they're supposed to. And a lot of people with disabilities are probably doing everything that they possibly can. They might be in like a health flare-up, so it's really important to check in with them to be like, are you choosing not to do this? Or like, what's going on here? Like, be mature, have a conversation about it, communicate. The quiet part that nobody says out loud is that love is not accidental. It's intentional. It's deliberate. Watching who notices, who plans, and who consistently puts in effort teaches you more about compatibility than any heart-shaped card. Valentine's Day is just a magnifying glass, and it shows you the reality that's already there. Has someone shown real effort for you on Valentine's Day? Or has someone like missed something? Tell people, share it, talk about it. I read every single comment. I want more honest, unfiltered conversations about relationships. So if you also want that about like love, life, then just go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on the notifications, and we'll keep saying the quiet parts out loud together. I want to know your thoughts.